Here's a pretty insane story that happened today. It says Iran scientist linked to military nuclear program killed. So basically, what's happened is the top nuclear scientist from Iran has been murdered. Um, Actually, assassinated is the right term. It says an Iranian scientist named by the West as the leader of the Islamic Republic's disbanded military nuclear program was killed Friday in an ambush on the outskirts of Tehran, authorities said. Iran's foreign minister alleged the killing of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh bore serious indications of an Israeli role, but did not elaborate. Israel, long suspected of killing several Iranian nuclear scientists a decade ago, declined to immediately comment. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu once told the public to, quote, remember that name when talking about Fakhrizadeh. So, basically what's going on is, obviously there's a lot of tensions right now, but just for some of the details of what happened, it says details about the slaying remain slim in the hours after the attack, which happened in Upsard, a village just east of the capital that is a retreat for the Iranian elite. Iranian state television said an old truck with explosives hidden under a load of wood blew up near a sedan carrying him. As Fakhrizadeh's sedan stopped, at least 5 gunmen emerged and raked the car with rapid fire. He died at the hospital after doctors and paramedics could not revive him. So, a lot of people are alleging that it was a sort of assassination made by Israel. I think it's pretty clear that that's the direction, especially when you consider that, Netanyahu once told the public to, quote, remember that name. Also, I had seen articles about how, Israel was preparing for a Trump strike on Iran. There was just all kinds of stuff. It's pretty obvious here that it was definitely a sort of hit put out by Israel, obviously, to take out their top scientist, their top nuclear scientist. So, obviously what we know is all of this is caused by the abandonment of the Iranian nuclear deal, which was a complete disaster. We should have stayed in the nuclear deal. It's almost like the shock Pikachu meme, the surprise Pikachu meme, where, you rip up the Iran deal and then Iran starts making nukes. Like, yeah, what did you think they were gonna do? You fucking idiot! That was the entire point of the deal. I did see that former CIA Director Brennan came out against this. So it is hopeful that Joe Biden will rejoin the Iran nuclear deal. I think that maybe if we get 50 senators, Democrats in the Senate, I think that we might be able to actually get it through legislation instead of just executive action, because obviously executive action can just be overturned by executive action, which makes it kind of useless. We will likely rejoin the deal no matter what. I would like it to be through legislation rather than executive action because, like I just said, executive action can be overturned, just like Trump did himself, right? Just pulled out, unilaterally. So hopefully they'll be able to get it through, but that depends on whether or not, A, they can even get 50 senators in the Democratic Party, and B, if all of those senators will go with that. I don't know how Joe Manchin is going to vote. A lot of people, I think, don't want to be, like, there's a lot of Republican anti-Iran rhetoric. So, some of them, like a Joe Manchin, might not vote in favor of something like that. But this is just rising tensions. It makes the region much less stable. We were much safer having the IAEA going in and actually inspecting these nuclear sites themselves to find out whether or not there was a nuclear program that was being built. It was a much better system, and that's what we need to return to. But hopefully this time by legislation. But this is pretty scary stuff, man.